When people are surveyed about their top fears, public speaking often ranks ahead of death as a fear for people. And I have to tell you, even though I give a lot of speeches nowadays in my life and in my career, I was deathly afraid of public speaking when I first started. And I knew that it was a weakness for me. When I was coming out of emergency medical services and going into the area of politics and policy, and eventually into the area of leadership, I knew that I was going to have to get good at public speaking, but I was so afraid of it. I would get sweaty. I'd feel like I was going to throw up. I would actually like dry heave, gag. I was so afraid of public speaking. And so I did a couple of things to work on that. One of the things I did was I read a lot of books on public speaking, and not all books are created equal. And so what I would do is I would take pieces, the best pieces that I could find out of the different books, and put them together to create sort of a method for myself of how I was going to do this. And so some of the things, some of the tricks of the trade, so to speak, were you have to know your topic front to back. Really know it, because one of the biggest fears comes from your concern that the people in the audience are going to know more than you about a topic, or you're going to be found out to be a fraud or something like that. You're not a fraud. Learn the topic, learn it front to back, and go up there with confidence. The other things that I do is because I would have like my voice would crack when I would get up and speak. And so a couple of things I do to prevent that is I don't eat before I speak within a couple of hours. And so if you're with me at an event and you see that I'm about to go up and speak and you're like, why isn't Aaron eating his food? The reason is because that's part of the method to my madness is I do not eat beforehand. What I do is I drink a lot of water. I make sure to go to the bathroom ahead of time. And I also walk briskly. Something about walking quickly outside. So sometimes you'll see me sort of pacing outside of a lecture hall or whatever it may be. It's because I'm hyping myself up. I'm getting ready to go in almost like I'm going into a sport. Some of the other things I do to avoid my voice cracking is I project. People know that there is no whisper in me. I project. Boom, big booming voice. It's because I've been practicing for years at speaking to the person in the back of the room, whether I have a microphone or not. I want everyone to hear exactly what I'm talking about and exactly what I'm saying. I also will go around oftentimes beforehand, particularly in an audience where I don't know people, and I will introduce myself to people and I'll learn a little bit about them. And if possible, I will incorporate a reference to them and I'll actually call them out, look at them a little bit in the event. That way I know I have sort of friends in the audience. And so they say, imagine people naked. Don't imagine people naked. Just get to know some of the people who are in the audience and look to those people for reassurance and support. The other thing that I would recommend is just do it a whole lot. Take every opportunity, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 50 minutes. I've given 2-3 hour speeches before. Make sure you're prepared. Use notes if you have to, but try to get to the point of where you don't have to use notes, and practice speaking extemporaneously. Get up and talk about a topic that you know, and you'll become much, much more comfortable. I now give, on average, 40 to 60 speeches a year at all kinds of different groups and various topics. I have about 20, 23, or 4 different topics that I talk about. And you never would have believed it if you went back and saw me at the beginning, because I was scared whatless. And so I just had to fight through it, break through it. I did it in a really strategic manner. So I highly recommend you do the same. You'll get good.
For more great insight, follow us on these social media channels. Keywords Aaron Byzak.